Chicago got real cold. That means I'm cold, bougie. And I experienced my first LA winter, and that was adorable. It's like 70 degrees, motherfuckers are wearing scarves. Double wrapped. Walking around like they own a castle. Take that off your neck. The sun is out, you know your neck is sweaty. Now you out here with a wet neck, endangering the world. People with wet necks make bad decisions. Hitler had a wet neck the whole time. You in love? Make some noise real quick. You in love? Look at this interracial couple. Martin Luther King would be proud of y'all. How long y'all been together? 3 months? Oh, so that's not at all. Y'all motherfuckers playing pretend right now, son. I like the first year. The first year is the most fun. Oh, it's so fun, right? It's most fun. It's not the most meaningful, but it's the most fun because both of y'all don't know how crazy you are yet. Y'all have no idea how crazy you are. The first year, you just play pretend. You do cute. Everything's cute. You do cute stuff, like hold each other all night. That's some fake ass. No real couple does that garbage. And if you're with somebody past a year and they're still holding you all night, you were dating a serial killer. And they will wear your skin to the bank, just to the bank wearing your skin. That's crazy. I wake up when you wake up. How is that not insane? Have you been asleep? No, girl, you sleep for the both of us. That's crazy. You can't get all the way to sleep holding another person all night. It's impossible. She moves, you wake up. You move, she wakes up. She farts, you act like she ain't do it because you trying to be cute. Was that me? No, girl, that was Jesus. The sex is amazing. You can do new sex moves because she hasn't learned your pattern yet. Every spouse knows how you have sex, right? Monday through Sunday. That's how weeks work, right? Yeah. But that first year, everything's in your repertoire. You know what I'm saying? That's great. And then after sex, y'all both sit there, lay there, holding each other all night in that wet spot, chilling like you both want to be there. You know that wet spot. Vagina juice, back sweat, a little bit of hope. It's all that right there. And the people that are reacting, you're having great sex. You continue to have great sex. And the people that aren't reacting, you just found out you've been having terrible sex your whole life. And that's not my fault. Because good sex creates a wet spot. And if you're a strategic man, you have sex on her side, so you sleep dry. And if you're a real woman, you make him switch because you run this. And if y'all a power couple, you have sex on the couch and make your friends deal with that juice. My uncle was a crackhead and we didn't even know it at first. We just thought he was a fun dude. We did, man. We used to be in the basement. You know how kids do. You know, be in the basement just jumping on. Listening for sounds. Ooh, is that mom? Nah, keep going, dog. He'd be right there with us. He had been up for 6 days. It was amazing. He was dope. Always had candy, the type you could eat and the type in the bag. Don't touch that. I don't know what that is. He was so dope, man. And then one day he stole all our TVs. And my mama was like, yo, crackhead ass uncle. And then me and my brother looked at each other. We was like, oh. That makes so much sense, though. No one should be up that long, man. At one point when I didn't go to school one day and I got in trouble because I have 2 parents who care. And they were like, do you want to be out in the street? And then my uncle busted in like, the streets is amazing, nigga, be free. I'm like, what? What does be free mean? My cousin came out for real, though. I have a cousin that came out for real. He wanted to do it down south in front of all of my family members. We're from Mississippi, so Thanksgiving, in front of 40 of my family members. And that's like a unique place to come out. And he hit me up because he wanted some support, you know. He texted me first. He was like, yo, Chris, yo, dog, I got something to tell the family, ellipses. And I was like, cool. Why'd you spell out ellipses? That is not how that works. ... That's how that works, fam. Then after that text, I was like, you gay? And then he sent me a text like, what? How'd you know? And then I sent him another text like, yo, I've been known. I thought you was trapped in the closet. And then I sent him a gif of R. Kelly just doing this. And he was like, that's a dope gift, dope. It's a dope gift. But he's like, for real, no, how'd you know? And I was like, well, no one really knows, right? No one really knows until somebody tells you, or you walk into a room and you're like, 90% sure, you know? But when I had an idea that he might be a little different, I was dating this girl. I was very young at the time, so I was very ignorant. And I got this naked picture. It's my first naked picture I ever got, right? And this girl was posed up in her bedroom in front of a mirror so you could see the bedroom in the background. And it was a weird pose. Because there was no wall right here. So this was just a decision, my she was like, nah. And then she was leaning too much, so one titty was alone. It looked lonely. The loneliest titty you ever did see. And I was like, oh, I hope she reunites those titties. So I passed it to all my friends because I was an ignorant kid at the time, and everybody was like, oh, those titties are lonely. And then it got to my cousin, and my cousin takes one look at the picture, and he's like, she need to clean up her room. That is not ladylike. You looking at the wrong thing, brother. Look at the titties. He's like, those titties, look at that decor. I snatched the picture back and I was like, yeah, you different. You real different. But of course I had his back, you know, of course I had his back. So it comes to Thanksgiving. We all about to dig into the food, right? And just as we about to dig in, my cousin kicks down the door. Everybody stop eating. I've got something to say. For as long as I can ever remember, I've been gay. So eat on that. That response is beautiful because that was not the response of that day. Everybody froze, it was silence, but I was cracking up because I was like, yo, that choreography was the son. What kind of gay temptation are you? Eat on that. Now what? Eat on that? That's a hashtag. I hashtagged that for a year. Eat on that? That was hilarious. Also, he kicked the door down and it was already open. Grandma gonna kick your ass for that. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment for me. But everybody, no one said anything for about 10 seconds. And I don't know if you've seen anybody come out before, but 10 seconds is a very long time to hear silence. So he looked at me, he was like, Chris. And so I looked back at him, I was like, I got you. I stood up real fast. And I ain't know what I was gonna say. I ain't never come out before. I ain't never come out with association. I ain't did this before. But I was confident with my stand-up. And I was like, ugh. Ta-da! He's gay. I was in Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I love the A. Yeah, y'all get crazy. Y'all strippers don't stop twerking. That's crazy. I love Atlanta, man. I was in the airport for 5 hours because they got 2 inches of snow and shut the whole city down. That was amazing to me, man. People left their cars on the highway. They saw 2 inches of snow and said, this, and got out the car. We're walking. Come on, kids. That is not how you deal with snow. And they don't have snow all the time, so they're not walking confidently in snow. So it's a whole highway full of cartoon characters. That is stupid. But I was in the airport acting a fool, man. I was smacking people. Y'all don't know what code is. Like, why you smack me? That's what Chicago wind feels like, bitch. Turn up. I like to say turn up after things I do wrong. It's great. I met this lady though, man. I was waiting there about 5 hours, you know. And I walked up to her and I was like, hey, Tanya, yeah, we've been waiting like 4 hours, man. You got any kind of updates? Anything you could possibly tell us at all when we'll get out of here? Yo, she doesn't answer me at all. She jumps right on the intercom. Thank you for choosing Delta Airlines. This is Tanya. Now, I know some of y'all got questions. I got questions too. But right now, we ain't boarding the plane because we can't find the captain. I don't know. I don't see him, so I don't know. So if you got any other questions, I'm gonna need you to be like Superman, lift in a Mustang and hold your horses. Thank you. I don't know why everybody's so mad about these 2 inches shutting the whole city down, because I shut down every time I see 2 inches. You hear me, bitch? And we are Facebook friends, because that was some gangster to say at your job. She was at work. Her manager, Todd, came out and was like, excuse me, Tanya. Yeah, Tanya, you can't say that on the intercom. And Tanya turned with no hesitation and was like, Todd, I've been working 16 hours every day for 7 days straight, and I ain't got no goddamn bonus. I say whatever the I want. And Todd was like, I'm gonna go on break, okay? We're on break. Gangsters and pimps, they were the coolest people to me, man. They had like cars and shit, right? With women, money. They had the coolest outfits. Pimps had the limp. And I'm like, are they hurting? No, nigga. That's just swag. You know what I mean? And it was cool to me, man. So I looked up to that. My big cousin, he was like the head of some gangsters, and it was so cool to watch him. But my story is about how I lost my first 2 fights trying to be down. And I remember when my cousins, they parked their cars outside, they walked up to my house, and they were like, yo, Chris, you want to walk to the corner store with us? And my cousin, real thug, 6'5", tattoos all over the place, tattoo tear on his face. He's not a killer, he's just a crier, but the nigga is real, you know? And I was so excited and terrified because these were dangerous people. And I don't know if you've walked somewhere with somebody you scared of, but you don't walk like a normal person. I know it's 1 foot in front of the other. I know how walking works. But when you're around somebody carrying a pistol bigger than your head, you start thinking about shit. So I'm walking the streets like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. What's up, dog? I'm saying what's up to people I don't know. My cousin's smacking my hand. Now stop speaking to people you don't know, nigga. What's wrong with you? And then as right before we get to the corner store, right? This guy, he was about 20 years old. I was 14 at the time. He walked right into me, full shoulder, pow, right in the middle of my chest, right? And I knew he did it on purpose. But see, I have 2 parents. I was raised right. So initially, I want to be like, excuse me. But I felt like this wasn't the right environment for manners, motherfucker. So I didn't say that. But what I did say was, huh, which is not better. And that sound was very loud. The guy was confused, and he thought I had said something, so he turned around, and he said, "What the hell you say, bitch?" Now, we're outside on the south side of Chicago. There's a bunch of people all around, and when somebody says bitch like that in the hood, everyone stops to see who the bitch is, you know? And so people stopped that had no business. There was a guy digging in the trash. He's like, "Who the bitch?" There was somebody in the store that popped his head out like, "Who the bitch?" One dude was riding a bike, minding his business. "Skirt, who the bitch?" Hold on, let me get off the bike and park this motherfucker. I need to see who the bitch is. And I was like, holy shit, I've never talked shit to somebody in front of people before in public. This is my first time dealing with this. So I was like, "That is not my name." I said that shit as if I was gonna pull out my ID, like, "Look, my name is Christopher Jarrell Red, and ain't no bitch in there." So. And he was like, "Yo, never mind all this shit, man. I'm about to fuck you up." So I knew I had to follow it up, so I was like, you know what? I'm not good at this. I'm gonna just say what he said, because it sounded real good. And so I was like, "Nah, I'ma fuck you." And before I could say up, he hit me directly in my throat. I don't know if you've been hit directly in your throat, but a couple things happen. For one, your throat says, "Fuck it," and it just closes forever. Your spit is like, gets suicidal. It's like, "Goodbye, I don't need to be in the mouth." It made no sense. And I farted a little bit. I did. I farted. Yo, I've never been hit so hard I fart. But my throat was closed, so the air had to go somewhere. I don't know. My cousin was very embarrassed. He had a reputation to maintain. And he was like, "Chris, stay out these goddamn streets. This shit ain't for you, dog. All right, go to school, be somebody. But this shit ain't for you. You got hit directly in your throat, nigga. And you farted in front of everybody." I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to fight. I'm gonna redeem myself. This is what I'm about to do. So the whole year until they asked me to fight again, I was practicing. I would watch Bruce Lee because I didn't know what a boxing class was yet. Bruce Lee was the baddest motherfucker around, dog. You watch his tapes, he was beating 15 people at the same time. People waiting in line to get their ass whooped by Bruce Lee. And I was like, hell yeah, I want to be that good. I would practice all his moves, and I was like, yo, whenever I get in a fight again, I'm going to be ready. And it was a year later when my cousin asked me to come fight with them, right? So we rode up to this field. It's my first time being in this field and shit, right? And I'm looking around as I get out the car. And the sun is set, and there's flowers. I'm like, yo, this is a romantic place to get your ass whooped. I didn't say, this is all in my head, though. I wasn't saying nothing. I learned from my mistakes. So I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna be tough the whole time. So we waited. It's me and 6 other dudes, right? Now, 2 cars pull up, right? There was 20 dudes in these 2 4-door sedans. And I don't know if y'all do math quick, but 20 dudes cannot fit comfortably in 2 4-door sedans. That meant that these gangsters rolled to this gang fight lapped up, which is not a gangster way to travel. That means that y'all were riding like, yo, we gonna fuck them up. You know what I'm saying, dog? You know what I'm saying? And the dude's like, yeah, but can you lift your butt? Cause you thick, dog. Why you twerking on me, cuz? And they pulled up, 20 dudes, clown card out the fucking cars. And they stretched along this field. The sun was behind them, and for a split second, I was like, are these niggas the heroes? Because they look like the heroes of this story. But I ain't say nothing, man. And as they walked towards us, everybody was doing whatever they do. I was sitting there holding my dick. Then the guy in the middle, he was like, yeah, man, hey. Yo, we about to fuck y'all. And before he could say up, I was like, not again. I ran. Which had to be weird for the guys hear me say not again. Cause who does that? Who does that ever in life? Not again! But I ran up to the guy in the middle, I jumped, and I realized he's very tall. So I had to bring it up here, bow, and I swung and I hit and I connected to his chin right now. Hitting somebody when they don't deserve it, it's an asshole thing to do. But when you hit somebody that's trying to kill you, ooh, it feels great. And I celebrate, I'm like, yeah, I'm finally a gangster. In my mind, I'm saying this. And as I'm saying this, 4 fists hit me at the same time. And I don't know if you've been hitting unison, but the shit hurts. A lot. One felt like it came from God, like you shouldn't be here, you know? And as I got hit, at the same time, I yelled out, y'all supposed to wait like Bruce Lee. Like, that's... And I fell to the ground. I think I knocked out for about 30, 40 seconds, right? I came to, my face fucking hurting, pulsating everywhere. But I looked around, and I noticed that nobody was fighting because everybody was laughing at what the fuck I just said. These grown gangsters holding guns like, this nigga thinks he's Bruce Lee! Yo, they're reenacting what just happened, like, who am I? And after 10 minutes of them laughing at me, the gangster from the other gang was like, you know what, I forgot what the fuck we was fighting about. Hey, dog, let's go to McDonald's, grab some food, go get some drinks, man, and just chill, and let's talk about your cousin some more, nigga. And all I'm saying is, I'm bringing communities together, so what the fuck are y'all doing?